Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast. And once again, we're sitting here in the wrong camera because I need to check and see what happened to that order of the gas struts. They confirmed that it was weird, because they are, but now I need to find out where they are. Because they have the money. Let's see. The computer's complaining at me. Is there anything we can do about that? I believe there is. Let's see. Go back and check to make sure we're buttery. And we're going to unmute for a second and get a little echo. Check it, check it, check. Doesn't sound terrible to me. And now we're going to open up the chat. And I want to close some tabs before we get to the topics that I pulled apart because it's already complaining. So adding topics would just make it more upset with me. Okay. That one's not hurting too bad. This one's a good candidate. I think it's full of videos. Yeah. It's not full of videos, but close enough. Yeah, it's got a lot of videos in it. Let's do... Where are you at? We're going to go... Really? Have that many tabs open? It's out of control. Alright, so what we're going to do is click this. And then for this window, we're going to... That's a lot of tabs. Right click. We're going to copy as CSV. And then we're going to go to Raindrop. Import them. Wait. If this stays another week, I'm going to have to rearrange the monitors. So I start having to do the mental remapping. So we're going to add all of them. Oh, but not there. Whoops. I put them in a folder. They should be in unfiled. Add them all here and will it move them? Probably not. So here. Yep, I made a mess. Alright, so let's see if they are in order. Of course not. So what I'll do is I'll just move the whole folder under unsorted. So unsorted will have a folder, and I'll have to figure out why. Oh, you can't do that. Well, I'll move them out of where they are into another one that will explain to me why it is the way it is. Alright, so I can close this window. Back over here. Whoops. Right, so close this window. Yep. Oh. Okay. And now that that's done, I should be able to maybe have enough to open up the news without it complaining at us. Let's see what happens. That's it. Okay. Copy as CSV. Close these. Come back over here. Find the mouse. There's the mouse. And over here. Add. Okay. Now is it complaining still? Probably. It's always complaining. It shouldn't be, but I think that's just because the browser maker's lazy with the memory usage. And the site makers really don't care because they think you're on their site. Let's see. Alright, let's try this one. Copy as CSV. Close it. Nope, it's not the one you're in. I can get it back though. Alright, where's the mouse again? There. Okay, we'll add these. And then we've got the chat. Let's check the chat real quick. There. And now I have a window for the news. What's up, Lee Moon? Good to see you. All right. Let's go ahead and open up the raindrop flyout. So we'll do this, and then we'll open sidebar. Not the 17th. I ruined that one. I dumped everything in a previous show. We're going to go to there. Nope. There. There we go. And we're going to go to the 26th. Apparently I don't know what day it is. There's 2 days off on the bookmark. I think I had the show title right. Let's see. Good seeing you. I hope all is well. I hope all is well for you as well. We are looking at a little bit of rain right now. There was some thunder and lightning earlier. Thankfully that subsided. I don't like being wired in on a thunderstorm, but I will do it. Okay, so I have the date right here. I just messed it up on the bookmark for reasons. Alright, so now I've got that open. I went to... We've got 12 items in the notebook for today. Plus whatever I catch a sidetrack with. Oh, that's why it says 26, because that's April. We had 12 items in April 26. Let's get to the right month. I did the same thing there, though. We've got 4 items in what I labeled as May 26th, which is not the right date. So at the same time, then, did I put anything in April 26th? Because I thought I put more than 4 things in the notebook. Let's see. April. No. Okay. Let's see what the 4 things are and if we find anything else along the way. So May 26th. Let me rename this while I'm in here. 24th. Oh, the screen with the X chat went blank. Let me fix that. And I've renamed it. There we go. Wow. That's, I guess the thunder and lightning is still ongoing. So we've got this one here about California truckers. Let's share screen. Microsoft Edge wants to access your screen. Yeah, so I clicked on share screen. Go figure. If I do anything with it, Mac will close the browser, and we're in the browser, so we're not going to mess with that. Now let's hit share and hope it works. Okay. All right, so this is a topic, I guess. I didn't know I could bookmark a topic. California truckers have rushed for Tesla Semi subsidies, outpacing the rivals. It's a cheaper, more capable truck, and you're getting money back on something that's going to make you money the whole way through. It's a easy, easy bit of calculus, especially if you got a place to charge them, or if you can use some of that money to obtain charging. And why is it arranged like this? Let's do our usual, not that. This. There we go. Lee says it's super pleasant day here so far. I might have thunderstorms later. Oh, might enjoy these. Someone worked today at Honey Baked Ham. It didn't leave me standing at the curb like last week. Did you bring along a double A or something? Like, so I knew you got a little treat with you, or is it all the software update? For those who weren't here last week, Lee did a smart summon with his Model Y Juniper, and he went to Honey Baked Ham, got himself a lunch, and he called the car over, and the car went around behind the building and made him go get it. I was joking that it was upset that it didn't get a plate. Oh, chocolate cake. That'll do it. I think everybody likes chocolate cake. I guess except for people who are allergic to chocolate, but thankfully that's not a common ailment. All right, let's see. Yeah, so it just makes sense if you got a place that you can charge, or if you can access the public charging for the semis, that you'd go with the one that has some experience behind it, rather than just repowering on the line a new diesel-minded truck. Like, because there are concessions made when you just change out the fuel storage and the motive source and don't change anything else about the truck. Oh, everything's off to the right. Let me reposition this thing. There we go. That's a little low. There we go. And works for me when I'm called. I do enjoy a good chocolate cake. Yes. So some numbers behind it, though. The HVIP program, since 2019, far exceeding the interest in rival models. Tesla offers 350 or 500 miles of range at around $290,000, which is cheaper than the competition, with lower operating costs amid diesel prices of $5.60 a gallon. Is that all? I drove past a Southeast gas station, and it was at $4.25 for regular. Normally my response is that high, but I know that's high. $4.25. So let's see. In my Volt, that would have been... Not only did my Volt not take regular gas, that would have been... That would have been over $56 in the Volt, the one I call Fat Prius. And again, it would be more than that because it's premium. Wow. That's wild. California trucking firms have asked state government subsidies to help them buy more than 1,200 Tesla trucks. That's more than all applications for all other trucks since the state's incentive program began in 2019. That'd be $350 million in Tesla semi sales revenue. New article. Early reviews of the semi suggest it could be the much needed hit for the company. It could shake up the staid business of truck manufacturing in the same way that Tesla's cars upended the industry. Yeah, probably. How many people are going to start trucking companies and get tax credit on their semi in order to convert it into an RV? be careful. You can do all that with the end goal of retiring it to being an RV as long as you actually use it for what it was intended for. And be very careful. So an old G Volt today. I wanted either version of the Volt back in the day, but I really wanted the Caddy ELR. I really like the Cadillac ELR, but they wanted way too much money for it. And even though it looked good, it was less functional than the Volt. Wow. Agreed on the ELR cost. I'm going to take a second and find out why my server was screaming. It stopped, so I'm guessing the fan. But I heard clicking, so it could have been power, but at the same time, you know what? No, because it would still be beeping. Because the other leg of the power is not UPS. It's 240, and I don't have a 240 UPS. Oh, so the scream was wild. It came on through. It was like, yeah, help me. He's doing stuff. Or not doing stuff. So, bear with me. I'm going to go to this. That was the new one. At 7 years old, it's new. not the storage part of it. I need the whole back end, please. This server retired from Azure. Well, at least its brain did. I don't know about the rest of it. And the drives came from my old NAS before Synology started changing policies with storage. You must buy our relabeled drives, and only ours. They walked it back after they lost a bunch of really high-profile customers, but tells me what their plans are. Plus, the 7-year-old computer was cheaper. It burns way more power, but I can do more with it. So it's going to be me, and I don't know the password. Why would I know the password? That's what password managers are for. Yep. Place that in. Okay. It's thinking about it. While that one loads, I'm going to check the other one, the older one, because it has a faster page. And they share the same water loop, so if it's overheat, then we'll know faster here. It's like before this one got retired, they gave it a HTML5 page, but they never optimized it. So it's just kind of a dog. As I get the other one logged in, this one pops up. Okay, so let's go to server health and sensor readings. And then we'll poke the tablet so it doesn't do weird stuff on X. And while I wait for the sensors to come up, as I say that, it starts to load the page. Let's go to the old one, do the same thing. Oh, I'm not logged in. Whoa! That was close. I don't know if it came through. It probably did come through because the way the lightning and thunder are unpredictable. Next, we're going to go to server health, sensor readings. And go back to the first one, which is probably loaded by now. Everything is green. Battery presence detected. Why and how do you have a battery? I don't have a RAID card. I use HBA's host bus adapters because I don't use RAID. I use ZFS. Power supply 1 and 2 are presence detected in green. Voltages are good. Oh, here we go. Fan 3 did it. Fan 3 is running at 400 RPM. And I bet you it touched 300 RPM and freaked it out because in the data center, their minimum fan speed is more like 1,000 RPM. And I've replaced them with quieter fans. that could go slower. And yeah, if that 1,000 RPM fan got to 300 RPM, you're having a bad day. Thankfully, it only alarmed. It's cracking up all the others because that even the ones I have can get up a little bit of speed to them. A little bit of speed in fans is a little bit of noise. All right, our highest temperature is 70 C, and that is on the 10 gigabit NIC that I don't use. Because it's got a 100 gigabit NIC. Why would I use the 10 with 100 available, right? Peripheral temps at 65 C is the next one. What is the peripheral? Is that the drives? No, it can't be. BCH is 65, but it's made to handle that. CPUs are at 43 and 40. That's higher than I'm used to hearing. Let me see what the other one's doing. It might be processing pictures. We went to the aquarium yesterday, and well, with the aquarium comes pictures and videos. And videos take some time to fully get them settled. Now, I asked you for the sensor readings a good minute ago, Mr. Computer. Mr. Old Computer, where are my readings at? Let's do auto refresh, I guess. There they are. 47, 42. Normally they sit around 30, 28 to 30 C. But the room is a little cooler today, so it must be working. I'll check the water and the loop later. It's not climbing. Okay, sorry about that. Our little field trip into junkyard computers. Heard the thunder too. Yeah. So at least people know I'm not just jump scaring for nothing. Like a bang, and it surprises me like, wow. Oh, I heard that too. All right, so we're going to go to, we talked about how many people we're going to start trucking companies, and I said be careful with that. Can't collect until deliveries. Watch for new vouchers once deliveries start. Because of the rolling maximum 20 vouchers per fleet rule. Okay. California very broke from overspending and all the fraud, blah, 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 blah. Sure. I'm curious about the response to that. The Republicans in California too. This was a much harder problem to solve than initially thought, per usual, but they're doing it. What is the production capacity of the current factory? It's 50,000. Oh, I saw that lightning. You guys might have seen that too. Okay, so next in the bookmarks, we've got it's going over here. Oh man, so it does open a new tab. I need to add that to my workflow. All right, so we've got Model Y has become the first ever EV to achieve 100,000 registrations in Norway. This means that 1 in around 29 passenger cars on Norwegian roads is now a Tesla. A Model Y. Not just a Tesla Model Y, because they've been getting SX3 for a long time. They might get a Cybertruck. They've got the F-150 Lightning before it got canceled. This feat was achieved in just 4 years. This car is no longer a niche car or a big city phenomenon. The Model Y has become a car that many Norwegians recognize in the traffic scene, whether they live in the largest cities or the smallest municipalities. Excuse me, it says stuck. So this is, they already surpassed the VW bug in Norway a couple months back, and this just continues. I'll open this in a new window, and then we'll look at it. Lee says, way to go, Norway. Yeah, I mean, they had a goal of, 2025 for, accelerated goal, because it was at 2030 and 2035, 2040. They moved it up a couple times, and they got it in 2025, and 2026 is just butter for them. Now, 98% of the cars sold are electric. That means all the oil they're drilling for, they get to sell on the open market because they don't need it at home. It also means that their citizens are able to enjoy the windfall and not have to worry about how they're going to get to work, assuming they didn't already ride the bike or a train or walk. It's kind of like the employees over at Samsung and SK Hynix. They got massive bonuses per employee, like life-changing amounts of money, because of the amount of profits they're making from the memory crush and the AI demand, combined with what's happening to the prices for people who aren't AI to get memory for their everything, like everything, even old memory, new memory. It's gone wild, and Samsung had a strike because
She's scared of thunder. I cannot put it
scared of thunder here.
Makes
Yeah, this is your first thunderstorm where you're awake. You want to say hi? The yeah, so Samsung had a strike scheduled, and they canceled it at the last minute, is my understanding, because they didn't want to share the wealth, and the union said you're gonna make record profits, like 500 to 800% profits, and you're not gonna do your profit share correctly, like those guys down the street. We'll interrupt your funds. And so then Samsung said, "Oh, we like lots of money. We'll go ahead and share some." Lisa, that's so impressive. EV adoption is off the charts there. Yes, I'm Daddy. Yeah, what's up? You smell like barbecue sauce, and you got what looks like ketchup on your face. You're eating toast? You like toast? Hmm? Oh, you want me to have some toast? You can keep it. I appreciate it. Oh, don't throw it on me. That wasn't very nice. Lee says hi. Lee Moon, he says hi. She's looking at the bread. Oh, there you are. Oh, yeah, you can see yourself on this screen here. I didn't realize I had the monitor still up, so you can see up here. Oh, it's not toast. It's just dry bread. How did you dry the bread out? Or what is on it? Is it butter? No? Oh, it's the end of the bread. That's how. Oh. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have a pile of bread in my hand. Are you going to eat it, or are you going to rip it all up? Oh, really? Wow. Alright, my left hand is a plate for bread. Lisa spent $800 on a 4TB portable SSD SanDisk a couple weeks ago. It was on sale. Frowny face. I agree, that's quite high. I mean, a 4TB SSD... Oh, Robert's here. Let me send him a microphone. A $400... A 4TB SSD a couple years ago would have been like maybe $200 at the most. Because, you got to add on extra for it being portable. But now, I was looking at used SSDs for the servers, not even like server grade, and like a 1TB was, at first it was like $100, which was high as heck, and then, oh, don't pull the computer off the table, baby. Stop it. 1TB was $100, which I thought was ridiculous, and then it got up to $150. I think last I looked, it was about $200 for a 1TB SSD, and the 8TB SSDs I had in my NAS that are now in this server here, they were maybe $250 on a bad day, and then they were selling a couple weeks ago for $890. And then it's the whole parable of, sold my wristwatch for your hairbrush, and you sold your hair for my watch strap. So then I would be stuck with no storage, but some money if I were to try and cash in on that. What, baby, what? What? Where are you going? You said you wanted to be scared of lightning and thunder. Come here. Yeah, I know. Mommy left you with me. All right, so if you're not gonna eat this, I'm gonna put it over here. Belly button. Belly button. Okay. Oh, okay. Robert pushed it for me, so I push this button and push blue button. There's Robert. It's going to. No, 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 no. Yeah, that's one of my fears right now, Lee, is that a drive will get ejected, and I'll have to replace it, and it'll be something like that. A couple runs of the groceries. But hopefully they're just gonna hang on until sanity returns to the market. All right. Yeah. So allegedly, Samsung did the right thing. They still have to have a vote on it, so there's still a chance they could further disrupt the market. But I hope that it doesn't come to that. But anyway, so for those that aren't aware, Norway, the country owns the oil, and they treat it as a shared resource among the citizens, rather than the way that we do oil here and in England. Gaga. 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 Okay. Cybermike says, interesting how Norway gets so much praise with its 5 million citizens. Tesla's become the first EV to achieve 115,000 registrations in Washington State. What's the most stereotypical CL car? The answer is almost a no-brainer, Subaru. Yes? Oh, careful, careful, baby. You're going to rip the computer off the table. I don't need it in my throat. I don't have a larynx removal. Just pushed it in my throat like the voice box things. Yeah? Oh, in my nose. In my nose? Okay. Oh, a little close. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you want to talk? Hey. All right. There. There. Wonk, wonk. Lee says, glad Samsung shared the profit with their employees. Seems so rare these days. Yeah, but I mean, if they didn't, they were in a really bad spot because they had trillions in profit, and SK had shared billions with their employees, and they do the same job. So it'd be very hard to justify not taking care of their people. What? More? More what, bread? You were throwing the bread on the floor. I put it in this cup here. How's this? Mm. Oh, you like it? Good. More bread? Mm. Okay. She's almost ready for her own podcast. Waka's learning the technical skills to do it. That she is. She just needs to work on the aim of the microphone just a little bit. She's right, generally in the face area. Good to go. Yeah, is that pretty good? Yeah, Moto was asking good questions at the aquarium yesterday, and then they asked for volunteers to help them with the presentation. There was a diver in the tank, and she did that. It was cute. She was shy, but she got a round of applause. You looking for gold in there? Oh, not a napkin. There we go. So back to Norway. Subaru. Not anymore. There's a new number one. Hey, Robert. Tesla's the. Go ahead.
I put that other thing up from when I was on the bus the other day, that other one with the carbon score thing. I sent it to you as well, but I also posted it as a tweet as well.
Perfect.
The screenshot of the thing before you take your journey on the bus. So I was thinking, how much would you save on a Tesla or as I did the same route on the bike? Because it's saying this carbon score thing there. Compared to there, you've done so much. You see that?
I don't see the purple, unless it's because I'm on the tablet. Let me see.
Oh no, I can't. I posted it. I DM'd you, and I also just did it on my thing because now I can't put things in the thing anymore because I don't have a tech.
Oh, they moved that to a paid feature.
Everything pretty much.
Elon really needs some money, it seems.
Yeah. It said this journey you took, so it would have been even more if it had been the diesel one. So that was the electric one, the bus.
Yeah.
If you took the other one, it'd be more. So I wonder how much it would have been for a Tesla or even on the bike. It says they have saved enough to watch the TV for 1,226 hours
There you go.
of carbon just by that journey.
Yeah, let me pull you up here on the on X. Oh, the video of the ship 12 coming back to well, not ship 12, ship launch 12, ship 39 coming back to the Indian Ocean. And let's look at shockwaves from a Starship flight captured from a GoPro. That's kind of cool. So now I need to go over here, search for Robert. Oh, green popped up. Something new in Tesla hacking land. May 3rd. Where did a non-Tesla supercharger become a thing? Recent firmware added an option for cars with free unlimited supercharging to only use. Yeah, I added that. Or it was automatically added when I didn't have to check it. It was already checked. Made sure that was on my settings. Rebranding of autopilot. Not sure why they decided to post the infotainment board with the AMD CPU facing the wall. That's a good point.
Oh, I was going to tell you, I've got the internet people come in changing over providers, and hopefully that's going to be better. Touch wood.
What speeds are they promising?
Well, they're promising 1,800.
Oh, not bad.
About two.
So for 2028 Model S and X cars, Tesla cut the cost on the car computer considerably. Dedicated GPU is gone. Good thing all the crazy gaming stuff is gone from the website too. The RAM still remains at 16 gigs, although unlike the current crop of 3Y and Cybertruck, the NVMe is dropped from 128 gigabytes, or to 128 gigabytes from 256. That seems kind of cheap. So if you just got yourself a new SRX, expect it to continue to be the weird stepchild situation. Not just because it's legacy, not just because they're all legacy, but because they went ahead and made it not match right at the end. Brilliant move. Yes, baby. Yes. I don't care about gaming. I wish my X didn't use compute space for it. With a 16 gig RAM less than the 3Y2, what does that NVMe do? What did you do to my mouse, child? There it goes, okay. She kicked my hand and the mouse went where I couldn't see it. NVMe is the same now. Okay, so that's not so bad then. SNX had double the RAM grid. Okay, so that's not so bad. I read it as... So they may have decreased it, but they decreased it to match the common fleet. That's not so bad. I read it as that they dropped lower. Okay, so probably no real deficiencies in compute on the SNX for now. Don't understand why they did that GPU and gaming thing at all. It seemed obvious at the time that it was a dumb idea to spend money on. I'm sure Tesla has a bunch of people who know a lot more about me. I mean, if they'd actually put some games in there, then it would have sold some cars, but they didn't. And so it's kind of a waste. If it's dumb, but it brings hype and sales, it's not really dumb. I guess that's one of the official Tesla mottos, even. Considering this is the last edition of S and X, what model years have the best specs on the computer? I wouldn't worry about which has the best computer. Worry about the one you can get. March 23rd to sometime 2024, 25 with the same computer, pretty much fully populated, autopilot with all the ports, NVMe. Yeah, but was that same one with all the cameras? Or was it the one with the less full cameras? So even up to 2025 has a computer. Oh, that's kind of cool. I was trying to get a new Plaid, but requires Steam. Why do you require Steam in your car? What are you doing? Steam and hardware for to make it worth it to jump up from the 2021. Mom? Oh, I got sandwiches. All right. Have fun, baby. I'm covered in bread. And my microphone is positioned funny. There we go. Yes? Oh, you want me back? Boop. All right, let's see here. Oh, my monitor has gone way, way back in the in time. So let's see if I can get that back to live. There. And come back further to the right. And there's all of you guys. All right, so we were looking for Robert's profile so that I could see what he was telling us about. I got distracted by Green's posts. As you guys know, he gets into the tech, and I'm always curious. So let's do Robert. There you are. Dun, 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 dun. I see a phone. There we go. I see the chat. I see. Here we go. So taking this journey. Taking this journey would save 11 kilograms of CO2 compared to driving. That's the same as watching TV for 1,200 hours. Were the directions accurate? Let us know. That's kind of cool. All right, let's see. That's the one you're talking about, the health chart. All right, that's pretty cool too. All right, so now we have talked about Norway and the Model Y. Did we actually load the article? Oh, here it is. I'm going to do machine translation because I don't stand a chance. Where's my offer for machine translation? Did I get it dismissed? If I reload it. Really, you're not going to offer it? You could read it aloud. I don't need you to read it aloud. I need you to translate it. No, I don't need to summarize it. There we go. Tesla Model Y has surpassed 100,000 new registrations in Norway. It's a historic milestone. Since the first cars were registered in this country in August 2021, as of May 20, 100,224 Tesla Model Ys have been registered for the first time, which means that 1 in about 29 passenger cars on Norwegian roads is now a Tesla Model Y. Figures from the OVF statistics show that the Model Y has gained a very special position on the Norwegian car market in just a few years. The fact that a single model passes 100,000 new registrations in such a short time is remarkable. The Tesla Model Y has hit the Norwegian market very well, and the figures show how quickly the electric car market has developed in Norway. especially when you consider how late the Model Y came into the scene from when they were starting on their push to go electric. A new people's car. Model Y in a short time has become the most visible car on Norwegian roads. Almost 9 out of 10 cars are registered privately, and the owners are found in almost the entire country. This is no longer a niche car, a big city phenomenon. The Model Y has become a car many Norwegians recognize in the traffic situation, whether they live in the largest cities or the smallest municipalities. The figures show that 87.6% of the first-time registered cars are registered to private individuals, while 12.4% are registered to companies. But I was looking for them to compare it to the Volkswagen. White, black, and gray dominate. Norwegian car buyers are still choosing safe, neutral colors. Interesting, it did I translated to English, and it did a European English for colors instead of, or British English for colors instead of the American one. They know where I am, and it was an American company that made the product, so I'm curious they chose to do it that way. Interesting. The color choices show that Norwegian car buyers are still quite conservative, even on a modern electric car like the Model Y. It's a classic color that clearly dominates. Oh, that's cool. Next, we're going to go to Lee. Lee says, hi, Robert. And Lee says, I'm seeing more Model Ys in our area, mostly Juniper, but the original ones as well. Seems like a few more Cybertrucks as well. We need to keep up our EV adoption game to Norway levels. Yeah, we do. And I've seen a lot more Junipers, but I've seen a couple of just the standard model with the without the light bar. Always takes me by surprise. And then I've seen a couple Cybertrucks. Okay, this one, I just saw the headline, and I know nothing more about it, so let's explore it together. Recycled wood and rainwater. Recycled wood I get, but how's rainwater? Interesting. Alright, now who is this? This is Daily Galaxy. Banned for 90 years, this building material returns with 15 times concrete's insulation and centuries of CO2 storage. And then I see this brick. I watched a documentary the other day on building materials, and I'm wondering if it is something here in the States that was banned, or if it's something else. And the banned is, depends on who you ask if it was banned or not. I've only seen one standard Model Y on the road here. I don't know why they had to make it look different. They did save that much money. An industrial crop that was heavily restricted for nearly a century is returning to the construction sector as approved for building material. Material combines the inner woody core of hemp plants with the lime-based binder to create... Oh. So it's hemp. Because there was a documentary I watched on using Adobe and using not hemp but your other crops as insulation, and this would fit right into that, but I guess they didn't want to get anywhere near hemp. It was long enough as it was, so maybe they were just out of time, or maybe they figured it was close enough to the other crops. They didn't care what your crop was. For integration into the 2024 International Residential Code, this formal update allows builders to utilize the material in residential structures across many U.S. states without needing custom engineering variances. Before this regulatory update, contractors faced significant legal and administrative barriers when using hemp-based materials. The plant was effectively banned in the U.S. for 90 years because federal laws did not distinguish the industrial hemp from the varieties of cannabis that contain high levels of psychoactive compounds. The Zaza, if you will. Walls of Wally Farms guest houses are filled with hemp. The question, though, for me is what is the R value and how thick does the wall need to be? Because I'm perfectly fine with foam. Of course, on a structure, it's not so bad, but on things that are mobile, is where it gets interesting. Regulatory path was altered in 2018. Farm Bill legally separated industrial hemp from marijuana at the federal level. Following legislative change, the U.S. Hemp Building Association led a multi-year effort to submit testing data and architectural standards to the National Code administrators. All right. Physical properties of hemp and lime. The inner core consists of a woody substance known as the hurd. When processing facilities separate these hurds from the outer fibers of the plant, the raw material is mixed with hydrated lime and water to initiate a chemical curing. The one they did focus on was straw out of all the crops. Technical analysis published in the NBCI scientific review, sorry. I don't know what they're doing over there. Over time, the lye reacts with the carbon dioxide in the air. Oh, you're making something with your toy pot? All right. Yeah. Over time, the lime reacts with the carbon dioxide in the air, undergoing a carbonation process that gradually converts the binder to calcium carbonate stone. Yeah? Yeah. All right. What you making? Hemp concrete sample. The resulting composite material provides thermal insulation, a capacity that can be up to 15 times greater than standard concrete. This thermal efficiency helps stabilize indoor temperatures by reducing the rate of heat transfer through the exterior walls of a home. Interesting. Material also exhibits specific moisture handling characteristics known as hygroscopic behavior. The open pore structure allows the walls to absorb water vapor from indoor spaces during periods of high humidity and release it when the air becomes dry. This breathability prevents the accumulation of liquid water inside the wall assembly. By eliminating trapped moisture, the chemical composition of the lime binder retains a high pH level that naturally resists the growth of mold and deters insect infestations. All right. Interesting. Are there any performance numbers on this, though? Agricultural life cycle of the crop requires fewer chemical inputs. Hemp plants reach maturity in 90 to 120 days, allowing farmers to rotate the crops quickly, while the deep root systems help stabilize the topsoil. Once placed inside the building envelope, the carbon sequestered by the hemp is locked into the structure for the duration of the building's operational lifespan. If a structure is eventually demolished, the cured hemp lime material can be crushed and returned to the earth because it lacks synthetic chemical additives. Supply chains and processing bottlenecks. Clear legal pathway. Regional supply chains face ongoing infrastructure limitations. Specialized machinery required to process raw hemp remains scarce in many parts of North America. Interesting. Farmers must transport the harvested stalks to specialized facilities in industrial decortators. The machines mechanically crack the stalks to separate the tough exterior fibers from the inner herds required for the construction blending. Because so few high-capacity decortation facilities currently operate in the U.S., transportation costs for raw materials can limit the financial feasibility of regional projects. Many hempcrete structures relied on imported herds from the European countries where industrial hemp cultivation remained legal throughout the 20th century. Yet another thing that Europe does better than us. But we do get cooler. What do we get cooler than you guys? You guys get the lights and we get the mirrors. Anyway, domestic processing capacity is expanding slowly as investment moves towards agricultural manufacturing hubs. Still don't see any performance figures. Not edit, search. Okay, so there's no no numbers on it. Oh, okay, there's comments, so let's see if anybody found it before I go looking for it. Fantastic research data. I heard about hemp uses being renewed. Research reminded me of Henry Ford built a car with hemp products. The fact that it's great for revitalizing the soil, quick growth at one time it was required plant that farmers had learned to grow for industrial use. Whatever happened? I mean, because we never stopped having hemp robes, so how do we lose all this knowledge of how to work with hemp? How to look up a decortator? Essentially a shucking machine. Okay, I was wondering as well. Thank you. My microphone keeps ending up on top of the phone charger. There we go. Thank you, Lee. And interesting piece, hemp-infused material. Where can I find the product for future purchase? Also, thank you for your great report. Did you know the tallest hemp-based infill building in the world is 84 Harrington Street in Cape Town? I did not know that. Just more evidence the system of governance doesn't care about us and has done everything in their power to control the elements that are good. Rockefeller hated hemp because it would have changed everything medically, structurally, mentally, and sustainably. The world is driven by greed and money. I mean, look at the LA transportation system. Let's talk about the streetcars. Hemp was a staple product for centuries. Ropes for ships as food with essential amino acids. I didn't realize people ate just hemp. That's interesting. Omega-3 and 6 and 9. Bug-resistant and fireproof flooring in homes. 80% of all textiles, fabrics, clothes, linen, drapes, and bed sheets were made from hemp until the 1820s. Hemp is a clean fuel and it makes strong paper products. In the U.S., government predicted that by the 40s, all paper would come from hemp and that no more trees would need to be cut down. Well, we failed there. 1 acre of hemp grown, 90 days to grow, equals 4.1 acres of trees and 15 plus years to grow. 220,000 years ago, the Chinese paper made from hemp was found. The first printed Bible to Gutenberg used hemp, and Thomas Paine used hemp to print leaflets to spread the idea of the American independence. And the first and second drafts of the American Declaration for Independence were written on hemp. In 21 April 2023, UBC students constructed one of Canada's first carbon mineral hempcrete buildings. So the same as what the article is talking about here. Hemp was and is a farmer's best crop and immensely profitable, which should outweigh the cost of industrial decortators. Co-ops like those for sugarcane production can be set up. Yeah, that's a good point as well. However, in the U.S., the 1937 Marijuana Act rendered marijuana and all its byproducts illegal, especially hemp, in all support of ensuring DuPont's success with this new product, nylon. I guess, yeah, they could be. This part here, which is like racism, just for the drug, but for the nylon, that could explain why it was so easy to do and lasted so long. Perfluorocarbons, forever chemicals, are crushing the world. That they are. Insanity of demolishing the gas of life knows no bounds. Gas of life. I didn't realize it was called that. Fascinating piece on interesting weed. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. All right, so now what I want to find out is what the installation rating is of this thing.
I was thinking about the bricks from the boring thing that he's got, isn't it?
Yeah. The article doesn't give an R value, but we can derive the realistic range from known hempcrete data. So it's the actual R value of hempcrete. Even though the article you're reading doesn't state it directly, hemp-lime insulation has well-characterized thermal performance based on building science and literature. The typical R value range in the US units is R 2.4 to R 3.7 per inch. Varies with density, binder ratio, and moisture content. Common wall thicknesses: a 12-inch hempcrete wall would be R28 to R44, and a 16-inch hempcrete wall would be R38 to R59. So this, they didn't even bother to say how performant it was. That's decent to good, depending on, what you're comparing it against. Wow. Like that's a number worth, maybe they didn't have it, but that's a number worth sharing. It aligns with the article's statement that hempcrete has up to 15 times the insulation of concrete, which is true because concrete is basically R 0.8 inch per inch, almost nothing. Why the range is wide: hempcrete isn't a single standardized product. R value depends on density, herd to lime ratio, moisture content, because it's hygroscopic, application method, if it's cast in place versus blocks versus spray, and the compaction level. The IRC in 2024 annex, the one referenced in the article, sets the blend ratios but still allows variation. So hempcrete performs similar to dense pack of cellulose material or mineral wool, but with carbon sequestration, moisture buffering, mold resistance, and thermal mass effects. So it's not a structural material, so the R value is for the infill only. All right. Anders, good evening from Stockholm, Sweden. Good to see you at bedtime, basically. Hempcrete is 2.2 to 2.5 R value. There we go. Thanks, Lee. According to Google. So it's going to depend on your methods and how you apply it. But it's not bad if you use a thick enough wall. If you can use a thick enough wall. You would think that my microphone is painted green the way that it likes to get removed from the scene. There we go. Lee says, "Hi, Anders." I'll poke this tablet right here real quick so it doesn't turn the screen off. I'm glad I turned off that screensaver thing though. That was always a pain. Okay, now we've got what's next in the notebook. So we'll close this and open this sidebar back up.
I was going to say about the thing before we move on to the next bit. What I'm living now in this prefab, it's a single wall, concrete halfway up, then tin, and then it's covered with that foam, and they put render over it with pebble dash, and then on the inside you've got that stuff they squirt into the walls, and then you've got a drywall, and that's how it is in this property. And so the brick places would have two walls, but they said it was to make a place thing, but it's, as I said, if you look at the temperature, I just taken it now, it's actually hotter inside than outside at the moment. And we've got a few more hot days to come.
Yeah. So is that is it broken down, or is it always that way, or?
No, they covered the concrete with this layer of foam. That they've got they're like panels. They drilled them and put them onto the wall and covered the whole building over. And it was meant to make it warmer and cool and sort of, but because we don't have that foil there. Because the ones that went on fire had that foil on either side of them. Mm-hmm. This doesn't have that foil. So It might be fractionally better in the winter, but in the summer, like now, it's over 30 something odd degrees downstairs and upstairs as well. And we've got more hot days to come yet, so
Wow.
yeah, not looking forward to that inside the house. But then again, it's the sun when I'm out and about, so
Yeah.
I've only got like 25 minutes before it starts to burn.
Wow. Okay, so the last one I put in the notebook was another one I didn't read. I just saw the headline, hit save for later. Waymo suspends all freeway rides over safety. Who's this coming from? Neelish Christopher at what publication? It doesn't say where they pulled this one from. A Waymo vehicle drives down a street on May 13th in Santa Monica. Waymo said that it's pausing its robotaxi services on freeways in the U.S. as it updates its software to improve performance around construction zones and flooded roads. The flooded roads is important now as we approach hurricane season in a week. Speaking of hurricane season in a week, let me... always don't make it plural, and it's a plural site, hurricanes.gov. I spelled it wrong this time. Alright, no cycling activity expected in the next 7 days. The reason I'd want to keep it up early is we've had a lot of heat to the planet, and these are heat-based storms. Anyway, Waymo said it's pausing its robotaxi services as it updates. Blah, blah. Company first confirmed its temporary pause to Reuters and said that it was working to integrate recent technical learnings into software and expects to resume routes soon. So I'm guessing they made either a mistake and fixed it, or they found something they didn't want to see. They fixed it. Reminds me of that Model Y we looked at the other day, where the robotaxi Model Y, where it got on the freeway and then acted like the guy called support, even though he didn't. Committed to being good neighbors for our riders and communities, except that the using the freeways was never banned for the robotaxis. Part of that commitment, we'll make proactive decisions, including temporary pausing aspects of our service. Company also paused operations in Atlanta after a Waymo stopped in floodwater. It's not a good thing. In May, about 3,800 of Waymos were recalled after a software defect caused vehicles to drive into flooded roadways. Suspension comes at a time when the Alphabet-backed company, which was based in Mountain View, has increased the pace of its expansion into a number of new cities. In the U.S. and across the globe, getting on the freeways and local airports is important for expansion. This is true. Avoiding freeways entirely can really lengthen the journeys. Sorry, got a little hiccup there or something. I wonder if the Tesla approval to go unsupervised on interstates before states and communities. Oh, you have a point there. Yeah, because if they get it federally, then that will solve a lot of their issues. Now I've got an invisible microphone. All right. That's interesting. I'm curious to see how they handle it. But once they start proving the safety miles, they'll be harder to argue against them. Google's increased the pace, and competitors like Tesla and Zoox have been playing catch up, but don't match the scale of Waymo yet. The company collected 170 million autonomous miles, with 13 times fewer injury-causing collisions than with human drivers in the routes that they operate in. Waymo provides nearly 500,000 trips every week and aims to cross 1 million paid rides by 2026. While most Waymo models in the US are Jaguar SUVs, it recently began testing a Chinese model Zeekr called the Ojai in Los Angeles. What's this Ojai? What if I don't agree? They've set it to the whole page. I was gonna block it. What if I go into reading mode? Ha! I didn't agree to Jack. Nearly 1 year after Waymo launched its autonomous ride-hailing service, companies ready to take on freeways, expand service area in Los Angeles. I want to know about the Ojai. That's the only reason I'm even here. Fine. We'll look for that in a minute. Oh, there's a big search bar right here. Oh, okay. We've seen these. Waymo did not cite a specific instance that prompted the most recent recall, but the company has been forced to pause operations to improve the software in several southern states that have been hit by flash floods, including Texas, Tennessee, and Georgia. Lee was telling us about the flooding and fires in Georgia. In 2025, Waymo recalled more than 1,200 vehicles due to a software defect causing minor crashes against obstacles in the road. They seem really cavalier with all these recalls and crashes. I mean, I'm glad that they're recalling them, but how do they suddenly miss all these edge cases with the pre-mapping and all that stuff that they do? I'm curious what the comments on these look like. Only 12 of them. Took multiple Waymo rides in a recent trip to LA. None of them were on the freeway, and all of them were safe. I'm sure they are glitches to work out, and I'm glad they are moving forward with these fixes. Oh, I said see more. There you go. They've marked this a downvote. The Waymo Ojai looks like a sleek minivan. Yeah, it looks like the new Kia minivan and the all those companies that closed. The European one and the US one that I always mixed up with each other that made the little round UPS trucks. Arrival and who's the other one? Arrival and well, if you know what the Arrival looks like, you'll find the other one. So I was trying to click read more, and they gave that guy a thumbs down. I undid it though. Sometimes I wonder people's thought process when it comes to certain things. I hear Waymo is bad, so it should be stopped. Meanwhile, 440,000 less people are dying every year in car crashes. Let's try to fix that. Pick some easier, more productive route to start, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I don't get the move to ban the cars outright when you could just force them to get better. The idea of geomapping everything in a Waymo's little operating area seems great until you realize Alphabet doesn't actually have much logic in its Waymos beyond following the geomap. It uses poor judgment, basically no judgment, to deal with the police and emergency vehicles, school buses, school zones, emergencies like fire trucks, fire hoses blocking the road, active police scenes, and traffic signal failures. The latest thing is that all LiDAR and radar is no help against floodwaters. What's the point of these expensive sensors when you can't actually show an instance where they have helped? Every one of these driverless vehicles has a backup driver in the back office, trying to run interference, even Tesla's robotaxis. It's all make-believe autonomy. Um, I agree that it doesn't feel like Waymo has the best approach at this point after watching them for all these months, but I wouldn't say that the Tesla has somebody in the back office. Not saying they don't have. Not saying that they don't have remote support, but I wouldn't say that it's fake. What else did they forget? Driving off a cliff? I know they can't see police cars. That's coming next. These cars are not safe. Just look at the ones that drove into a flooded street. That's exactly what the article is talking about. There was a recall. They say they fixed it. Now we have to wait and see if they did. Headline: Waymo suspends all cyber junk taxi rides over safety. Oops. Unsafe at any speed or location. I see what the other person was talking about. These people are jumping to the this is the fear of the unknown or the fear of the new. The novel is just incredibly strong with these folks. I can't believe it. They were supposed to be so advanced to save the planet from ruination. Does this thing drive at night in the rain? Does it? Them cats have 9 lives anyway. How much does a ride in a Waymo Jaguar? I've seen the Waymo drive within the city of Santa Monica. There's no way in hell I would let one of them take me on the freeway. That's the reason they were never allowed on the freeway. If you get one of these driverless cars, you're an idiot. Okay, so, no? What was that video flashing behind all this mess? Drivers won't be needed. The plant that could kill Uber. From Think School. What got me was I saw... What did I see? I saw portions of Model 3s and Ys. I saw some collisions. We weren't that far along, so it doesn't matter. So that is everything that I've got already in the notebook. Let me just do a quick run through one of the sites and see if we have missed anything breaking. Like the automakers show that they're fighting back in China. Interesting. Forget range anxiety. EV drivers are apparently facing hot dog anxiety. Whatever that means. I love EVs, but Kia and Hyundai are making this harder. Is it about the IMMU? $130 fee for EV drivers is really fair? We question the Volvo EX60. I was just talking to one of my friends well, not talking. He wrote, and then I was chatting on the thread about the Maryland you don't buy gas fees, and they are ridiculous. We're talking anywhere from $300 to $900 to make up for the 18 and a half cents they didn't get in federal taxes on gas. Critics claim PF don't make sense. Toyota just prove them wrong. The reason they don't make sense is because people don't plug them in. Not that they don't work. And they catch fire more than the others for reasons. This could be Lucid's affordable crossover at a next to a Model Y. I need to figure out what Jason had on his Fisker. They bought it back. Just buy it. Waiting for LiDAR and the Rivian R2 might not be worth the headache. Correct. Citroen is bringing back the C2 CV because EVs got too expensive. Doubt. The reborn Icon will be fully electric and made in Europe and priced below $17,500. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. They're saying that regular EVs, they've gone up in price to chase the profit. So they're bringing back a new entry-level EV, which I appreciate that. I thought it was the same crap that all the other makers are saying, like, EV this, EV that, so more gas. Tesla drops the one-time purchase for full self-driving in Europe. Yeah, we talked about this last week, so it's done. You can't do it anymore. Just 1% of EVs made up a large amount of sales last year. They are the winners. My tag renewal in Georgia for the Model Y was around $200, if I recall, classified as alternative fuel tax or something like that. Yeah, they're just making numbers up. They're not based on miles or weight or anything. They're just, oh, this feels right. Nobody will notice. Nobody's driving those daggum plug-in cars. I wouldn't be upset if it was equivalent. It's not. Or if they dropped it, dropped the gas tax, and then everybody paid this new thing based on whatever it's based on. And that's how you know that it's not set based on reality, because they would get skewered politically if they tried that. Unless they did it fairly. It's like, oh, okay, well, we don't like paying 18.5 cents, but, hey, I do drive a big old pickup truck or a dump truck or a bicycle, and do it properly. 11 minutes to 80%. This is the new quickest charging EV in America. They got a Mercedes in the picture. Interesting. Oh, yeah, Mercedes just claimed the EV fast charging crown in America. All right, we'll see. Stellantis plans $70 billion comeback with the LFP batteries and a Tesla FSE's Challenger. Stellantis, you need to survive to do any of that stuff. We'll see what you do. So just like I don't click on concept cars, let's see what they're spewing this time. None of it's ever come true, but this could be the one. 2026 Highlander, Toyota CHR feels like a misstep and a pivotal year for EVs. CHR is a fun EV wrapped in an outdated experience. It proves that new doesn't mean compelling. Want to charge your EV at a campsite? You might get fined $500. Depends on the sites, but yeah, that is a thing. Because they have crappy electrical systems. Not all of them, but the ones that do this do. Polestar pauses work on its electric sports car, but it's almost done. See what I mean about concept cars? Bojangles. Bojangles getting into EV fast charging. All right. That's interesting. Good on you. Tesla says FSD is finally live in China, but leaves drivers guessing on the rollout. Jeep and Ram's owner partners with another Chinese brand to build EVs in Europe. That's creepy. The EX60 can see the world and chat with you about it. It's your AI chatbot companion. Keep you busy on the road. The Volvo EX60 thinks the best. New kind of EV motor. It's unprecedented charging speed. Okay, I don't really care about the speed so much, but I'm curious about that motor. I think that's enough, so let's look at these little side quests, and then we'll go on, and I'll eat this sandwich before it gets too cold. Stellantis spent $70 billion comeback. Transatlantic car maker. Cell to body structure, okay. Lithium iron phosphate. Stellantis struggles to keep up. Restart from scratch. So will we see Honda do this? Say that they sucked at EVs and then come back and do more EVs? Or... because Stellantis blamed all their woes on EVs and stuck all the money in that division, and then is getting back in it, apparently. For real. Or at least, if they make it. New scalable architecture. The Stella 1 will support 800-volt architecture. The Stella 1 platform will be developed for multiple powertrains. Its EV version will use lithium iron phosphate. It's the multiple powertrains that's going to cause them issues right there. They already learned this lesson. Cell to body is new. Well, we haven't seen it done yet anyway, I should say. Expand its partnership with Qualcomm. Integrate the Snapdragon digital chassis. Interesting. I'll have to look and see what Snapdragon considers to be a digital chassis. Sweeping ambitious plan. All right, look at these comments. I can't even trust my life with a Stellantis transistor radio or rear backup camera. Now they want me to create an FSD system. Good luck, Charlie Brown. Or good grief, Charlie Brown. Interesting. It's like a new electric cars, but overly ambitious. The original Fiat 500e was a terrific little car. I hope they'd improve on it, but the refresh was only a marginal improvement with a loss of utility with a rear seat that couldn't fold flat. Indeed. Alright, so this Memorial Day, we should remember those that gave the ultimate price for us to stomp all over their sacrifice by not appreciating what they did for us, what they were fighting for. Anyway, we want to charge your EV at a campsite. You might get fined $500. Where it's safe to charge your electric car and where you'll have a bad time. Small crowdsourced database wants to make life easier for EV drivers who camp. The Camp and Charge is individually reviewed over 500 campsites in North America to see their policies on EV charging. See, what I'm wondering here at this point is just plug in your camper and then plug your EV into the camper. Nearly 40% of these campsites included a data set outright forbid EV charging with fines of up to $500. Well, $500 a pop, you can fix your electrical system. With Memorial Day weekend just around the corner, plenty of Americans will hit the road, blah, blah. Most developed campsites in the United States have power hookups where RVs can plug in and keep their lights on and their refrigerators cool. They could also be used to charge an EV, but that's not always the case, which can lead to confusion and even heavy fines. Campsite charging, stations available, not allowed. Huh. A lot right there in that Kentucky, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama area. I mean, they're all over the country, but there's a lot of them right now. Dun, 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 dun. The idea is simple. Find and expose each campsite's policy on EV charging. The founders of the project and a fair number of contributors have scoured the internet for up-to-date information. And when those sources were obsolete, they picked up the phone to keep the project going. It's a passion project, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And it's a great starting point for EV campers. Nick told me in an email that the main problem with going to a campsite is that most RV parks don't advertise their EV charging policies on their website. Yeah, they don't. Some of them don't even know. He found out that it was a pain to plan camping trips when the Rivian R1S and the Airstream trailer, so he decided to take matters into his own hands and launch a platform that makes life easier for EV drivers. Nobody else seems to be tracking this systematically, which is why we started doing it. Nick said, and Camp and Charge is a small project because we kept running into the problem ourselves with our R1S and Airstream setup, where we try and plan a road trip not knowing whether a park would allow us to plug in or not. Solar and batteries also help with this, but unless you're doing it yourself, that gets really expensive at this point in time on RVs. Data gathered so far paints a relatively balanced picture of the 504 parks surveyed so far. 76%, 15%, 76 or 15% openly allow EV charging through the pedestals, while 230, 46% don't allow using the pedestals for charging, but have separate EV chargers on site. That's a fair compromise. Of course, they probably make a lot more money on that way. The third category includes 198 or 39% that forbid EV charging and don't have dedicated EV chargers. Screw them. With more than 13 parks listed in the directory, published specific fines. What's more, 13 parks listed published specific fines for plugging an EV when you're not allowed to, ranging from $30 to a whopping $500. At least they publish it ahead of time instead of trying to get you with some surprise bill, since they don't put it on the website. According to Camp and Charge, the main reason for some RV parks' refusal to allow EV charging is related to the power hookups, which campsites claim were not designed for continuous loads. Which sounds like bunk, because when you see a 50 amp RV roll up, it draws some power all night. It's a fair answer, saying how traditional RVs can drop to 32 amps when it's plugged in to shore power, But then the load drops significantly after the AC or fridge cycles off. If there's only one AC. Oh, what you got, Robert? You got your hand up.
Yeah, I was saying, the infrastructure they're putting, digging up the road. It's going to be until the 24th of July. Started the 4th of May, doing that road, putting new power lines in to hook up with all this stuff. But that's the other thing. They're upgrading. It takes time and costs money. I was just going to tell you how much my electric's gone up to pay for all that. But I was also at the charger the other day, and I saw it said £1.20 per kilowatt hour.
Wow.
With they crossed out the £2 thing and put a £5 connection charge fee.
Wow.
I was talking to the other guy, and he said, I had to pay it twice because it kept disconnecting. I said I would go and call off about that. But then I went to the gas station. I was on live with a friend, and she said, don't you have to do anything, put cards or anything? I said, no, you pay inside the kiosk for it, so you put it in there, put it there. But I looked at the price. I looked at the prices. I was showing her about the colours and the different ones. And I was showing her that there's one especially for the lorry where that pulls in your tick, and then the other ones and the prices. So the ones for your lorry, your semi, that was £2.18.9 a litre, so that's £2.19 a litre before tax, and then the regular one was nearly £2, and for the other diesel, and then it was just a little bit less for that because you got regular and then the other ones. But so that's the price of the fuel now. But then the kilowatt charge, how does that work out at £1.20 per kilowatt hour?
That's hella high. That's super high.
But that wasn't even the highest one. That wasn't the highest one I saw. I mean, the cheapest I saw was 70 kilowatt hour charges, but that was in the slow one. But the other ones are 120, and the other ones was nearly 150.
Yikes! So they don't want people to use the equipment, is what they're saying. Or their power companies just really put the screws to them.
Yeah, £5 connection charge. It was £2 connection charge. So, yeah.
I see. You said 1 per kilowatt hour, ish. So
£1.20.
£1.20. Okay.
Yeah.
1.2 times. Say I came in rolling in on static. So you're looking at 120 pounds, 125 pounds for my car, for one fill if I rolled in empty. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
How much is the gas SUV right now?
Well, as I said, for gas, it was 160, and then the diesel, the cheapest was 189 a litre.
So 160.
So you need 5 litres a gallon plus tax of 20%.
Yeah, so times 5 liters times, let's call it 28 gallons. It's probably small. It's 224 pounds for a fill. Yikes! And all this is because of the Epstein war. Wow.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. It's so high. Wow. Timothy says greetings. He says hi, Casey, and asked Lee what his Model 3, what year the Model 3 was, and his Juniper is 2025, right? And Timothy, Lee says hi, Timothy, and so 26 Model Y. Had a 2024 Model 3 traded for the Model Y. There we go. And whoa, don't go home. There's a fair answer seeing how traditional RVs can draw up to 32. Oh yeah, I said that was that's true for some of them, but not all of them. In particular case, the camping location describes pedestal charging as stealing power. Are you serious? And applies a fine per occurrence, which theoretically means that an EV driver could pay multiple fines for a single charging session. How is that possible? Per occurrence. So if you just don't unplug it, that's one, not multiple. But even if a campsite refuses EV charging, the good news is there's probably a DC fast charger nearby. The data gathered by Camp and Charge reveals that the average distance from an RV park that forbids charging to public DC fast charger is 8 miles. Yeah, but that you'd have to make sure that your car is ready to go, and then allocate extra time to do that, or you come in at the end of the journey while the car's still warm, and then charge it, because in the wintertime or any of the cool seasons, like where the car's able to cool off to like 50 degrees overnight, that's going to add some significant time to the journey with a DC fast charger or otherwise. When you were already parked overnight for hours, and you could have just left full anyway. Yeah. Closest DC fast charger 60 miles away on average. It's a great starting point for EV drivers who prefer camping over hotels, but it's not yet complete. Camper Charge acknowledges that it only includes campsites that have published EV policies in its dataset. Additionally, published. So you're saying that some of them just make it up as they go? Additionally, it's possible that not all entries were visited in person, with most of the 504 listings coming from cross-referencing campground websites, reading reservation pages, and calling offices. What's wrong with calling offices? I'm fine with that. When the available information was out of date. And that DC fast charger has to have a pull-through or trailer-friendly spot. Yeah, that, or you're leaving your trailer somewhere, and then you might get charged extra rent because now you had to leave late or leave early to deal with getting fuel when it was already where you were.
Yeah, I just put the picture up. I took a picture of the meter after the price increased.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was thinking about the other one where you also go, when you go to shopping now, you're not allowed to leave the area or you get a fine.
Right.
And he said, well, charging my thing up, I can't very well do anything else.
Right.
So he's paying for the charging, but he has to then pay the other thing, and he can't leave the premises because he'll get fined.
See, that's messed up right there. I mean, if it was a free perk to get you to shop longer, I get that. But if you got to pay for it, then they should just say, hey, only while actively charging, because we need this spot for our customers. So after you're done charging, if we see you here and the meter is reading 0, we're going to charge you. But to not let you leave at all, that's crazy. A $50 fine sounds like a flat fee. I paid that in Power Hump, Nevada. Although pricey, it was very convenient. At a private campground, they had metered pedestals. I negotiated with them to pay cash for a certain amount per kilowatt hour. They made me some bucks, and I was not inconvenienced. I've also charged Stealth, which is easy to do if you limit to 120 volts. This is true, too. Or like I said, plug it into the camper. And then it's a load on your camper. I'm not sold on the term camping if an EV is wanted. Maybe overnight Walmart parking with the charging facilities. I own an EV. I often camp. I've never thought to mix the two and pretend I'm doing both. See, not everybody camps in a tent, JT. Some people camp in a camper. We're talking about full hookup RV parks. To some, that's not camping. More like a portable hotel room. Many people enjoy this camping compromise. And it is a benefit if one could charge their electric tow vehicle while they're there. Agreed. So how would you describe what someone is doing in a forested state park with a travel trailer or a motorhome? Ooh, gotcha. Because you do raise an issue. What if you're just tent camping in a powered spot with an EV? Then these places don't even want you there at all sometimes. We had, when we did our cross-country journey with the Clean MPG, we had to hunt around a little bit to find a campground that let us put a tent up next to the car. And, well, that was interesting. I mean, I guess it's not that... You just got to find one that either lets you stay in the car or let you put up a tent, but some don't do that and don't say it. If I were to charge now in the parking lot here at home, I would pay 22 cents at lunchtime tomorrow, 14 cents per kilowatt hour. Interesting. After this, let's go check out Robert's photo. Seemingly it wouldn't be because the one the RV used on top of it. It's bad because it wouldn't be the one used RV on top of another EV. You would think so, but no, they don't want any EVs. They don't care about the RV. In fact, if you don't plug in an RV, they're even happier because they save the money. All right, so let's go back to x.com and go to Robert. Real-time video Starship from Starlink. The photo from Flight 12 goes so hard. Alright, so it's a photo. And Elon says real-time video. Alright, buddy. The paraglider gets hit by Cessna 172 in the Austrian town of Zell. Paraglider was able to pull her rescue parachute and land safe. Oh my goodness. Whew. According to police, the Austrian had started from Schmittenhof in the direction of Pissendorf at the Pinzgauer. Started at 1:15 p.m. when the Cessna, piloted by a 28-year-old. The pilot of the Cessna flew from Glim Valley in the direction of Zell. Zell MC was able to land the aircraft safely at Zell. Okay, so everybody came out all right. Ooh, that is scary. Ooh, ooh. Can you, wow. Did anybody get the license plate on that Mack truck? And it's not like she was hard to see, or if it was a day where you'd be using only instrumentation. Thank goodness she had her backup chute. Oh my goodness. That is incredible. But she didn't just magic into the air, so she came out of an airplane, so who was checking those flight paths? Oh, there was audio too, oh my goodness. I'm gonna back it up. Oof. Whee. Okay, she went straight for the backup suit, okay. Well, I guess, I mean, you don't have a choice but to be on your A game in a situation like this. You gotta, I mean, because if you mess it up, you fall from the sky, so yeah, wow. Still gotta get rid of the other chute. Any balance you have. Get out of the aerodynamic thing that she's wearing there. Whew. Yeah, I don't know what you said, but I feel it. So she's got a 360 camera we're looking at there, okay. But I mean, had that been even just a little bit of a different distance, that could have been nasty for all involved, rather than super scary. I hope we bought her a new chute, because that's expensive. Ooh, she's coming in hard. Ooh, ouch.
Alter! So, ich lebe noch. Das ist aber die Hauptsache.
Yeah, agreed. Curious what the comments on that one are. According to comments, it's the paraglider's fault. Also, according to comments, it's the Cessna pilot's fault. I'm glad that was cleared up. I don't care whose fault it was. The woman had ice in her veins. She didn't panic or freak out. She kept her cool and remained calm and survived without any drama or other BS. Mad props and congrats on walking away from that. It's a foreign country, so I can't exactly speak for their rules, but in the U.S., non-powered aircraft have the right of way. Pretty much the only thing that matters is the glider's right of way is a hot air balloon. Probably because either they're older or because they have less control even than the glider. It should make a great deal of sense to everyone that the more control over the various aspects of your flight, the more responsible you are to avoid these who do not have that level of control. If for some reason this doesn't make sense, the passenger, pilot, you. Hey, you scratched my propeller. That's from the deck of Rodney Dangerfield's yacht. No way you could have missed seeing the paraglider unless not looking out visually scanning. The rules dictate that an aircraft you must yield to the paraglider. How do you not see a bright pink parachute riding right in front of you? Like I said, it wasn't conditions enough that you would be instruments only, and even if it were, she wouldn't be out there. Comments are a great study in human nature. When someone says it's the Cessna pilot's fault and he should face harsh consequences, almost all likes. When someone says it's the paraglider's fault, almost all likes for that too. Humans are biased and to blame. Parachutists bring along a parachute for safety in case anything goes wrong with parachuting. And is anything else like that where you just bring a whole second X along just in case the first one breaks? Yes, there are, but especially there, you don't really have much of a choice. I'm curious what the comments are on this one. Tires, magazines, batteries, lighters, water sources. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. It's a good philosophy sometimes. Tires aren't the whole thing you drive. It's just a backup part. Magazine and batteries don't count for the same reason. Batteries do count. Lighters and water sources, I think in most cases, yeah. Yeah. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Just like backups. This guy with a whole extra car. True, I can only count it if they have a whole spare car. There are some people who do that, but usually those are like expeditions or something. And yes, they have a whole separate whole car, or enough parts to make the whole car over again, depending on what kind of expedition we're talking about. Well, this isn't a great example, is it? Because she was paragliding and then she switched to backup chute, not another glider. Denied, case dismissed. One is paragliding, 2, the plane flew 3 meters lower and she would have been mincemeat. Yes, exactly. Concept called redundancy, employed in important applications. Yeah. Well, I mean, you could look at it a number of ways. Like with these servers over here, they could have backup drives on the shelf, backup drives deployed inside them, and they could be backing each other up, and that's a whole other one right there. Commercial planes have 3 backup hydraulic systems. That's going to be a part. Planes with more than 1 engine, again, a part. Thank you, Captain Obvious. So anyway, we were looking for Robert, so let's go back to search. And let's go on over here to Robert. Okay, so we got a meter here. Let's take a look and see if I can figure out how to read it. Look at the flowers. There it is, 33.5. See? Woof. 32 there. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the thing from the meter.
Yeah, I was getting ready to make it bigger, but I was looking at the other pictures too. Here we go.
With, you got the price per kilowatt, and then you've also got the standing charge of nearly £5 a week.
Yeah, per kilowatt hour.
Yeah.
So 25.31 pence per kilowatt hour. That's still really expensive. Because a pence is
One up, I wonder. I had an email saying it's gone up £114. Well, they're doing all these things and they put that onto us.
Pence is decimal, just like our currency is, right?
That's right, yeah, you've got pounds and pence. Yeah, the decimal point is the pence. When there's only, on that meter, when there's only, like, when it says 30, so it's like 30 pence.
Right,
It
right.
only shows the three then. But when there's more, it shows the other one.
Right. Well, like for ours, I think it was always decimal, and yours was fractional before, so I was just making sure. So 0.2531 times 100. So it's 25 pounds to fill my car from zero at that rate. That's still expensive as heck. I don't think I pay anywhere near that. Let me see. If I used all from the grid and not at the cheap rate and had my solar going, 0.134 times 100. So for me, it's $13 a year. So half. And then even less so because of the solar, and then even less again because of the nighttime rates. So I don't remember what it is. Let's call it 9.
Yeah, they took away they put it on a single rate now, so it's just that one now. It used to be 2 rates. It says rate 1, but then rate 2 is exactly the same.
Oh, okay, because they used to have more, and they probably reserved the right to put it back in there, so they didn't take it out of the meter. Good gracious. So do they want you to have air conditioning, or do they want you to cook in there? Goodness gracious. The insulation let it get that hot, and then then if you do elect to use it, they charge you out the wazoo. Goodness.
That's the thing, my AC broke down and I got rid of it, so I haven't got AC. I've just opened the windows and doors to let some of the heat out.
Yeah.
And it'll be hot again tomorrow, so I'm not looking forward to it.
No, yeah. But at least yours is built with cross breeze in mind, like, because the modern ones, they don't have a way to get the breeze through the building. So if the AC goes, they're just deadly. All right, so the next thing I pulled out on my little side trips is the Mercedes-Benz electric super sedan has a new kind of EV motor and unprecedented charging speed. So tell me more about this motor, and then the speed. We can kind of see why they got going over it. It looks like the air vent, not the motor. Let's see. Use a new kind of motor to reduce the weight and improve performance. Struggled early on. AMG, polarized design. Quality looks over the top. Active aero that activates at 87 miles per hour. No, a panel near the front automatically extends on underbody at 75 miles per hour, while one on the center activates at 87 miles per hour. I mean, yeah, you do want to be able to keep the rubber side down. Cooling flaps. Axial flex motors. Okay, so we've heard a little bit about axial flex motors from Ricky with Da Vinci and Yasu and Monroe. Okay, so it uses axial flex motors, which they've been talking about a long time, so I guess they finally got one in there. And 600 kilowatt charging. That's pretty fast. While Chinese cars from the likes of BYD, Geely are already capable of megawatt charging speeds, the AMG GT 600 kilowatt fast charging speed is the highest from a Western automaker. There we go. So I wonder when we'll see the Teslas get any faster. Not that they absolutely need it, but they've got megawatt capable chargers right there. Germany puts the West on its shoulder in EV industry right now, and guess who's leading the charge? BMW, Mercedes, Porsche, at least tech-wise. Okay, sure. 1,100 horsepower to get behind another driver trying to text while eating a burger. At 5,400 pounds and programmable fake sounds, no thanks. Kind of like bragging about your girl's friend's shapely figure that cost her 25 grand with all the stuff she added and subtracted. I mean, okay. There's a lot to be commended on this vehicle, a lot of interesting and innovative tech, but is there a market for super performance, super expensive EV? Yeah, there is. he does it, to be honest. I see it as a brand shaper for Mercedes. It's called a Halo car. We're waiting to see the actual flex motors in an EV. However, with an ultra expensive, unattainable vehicle, oh well, a guy can dream. But you see, here's the thing though. Now that's out there in an ultra expensive car for the two rich guys to get one, they can watch them drive it, they can learn from the mistakes, and they can do the next one, do it cheaper, and keep on going without destroying warranties and everything like that. At least we camped in a 5-person tent. While growing up, lots of Coleman camp accessories. Had a ton of fun back then. I'd be an RV kind of guy these days. Good training to pull out the reserve after the main shoot. Absolutely. I still have a tandem skydive on my bucket list. Hopefully without that drama. Agreed. I mean, I'd like to try it once, but exactly not like that. Well, not the the same outcome. Go ahead.
I got a funny one for you. Insurance lady called me up the other day about life insurance, and she asked me a thing. She said, "Do you smoke?" And I said, "Only when I'm on fire." And then she said, "Does that happen very often?" And I said, "Well, I see things happen." She said, "Sorry, we cannot insure it this time," and hung up.
Oh, you can't take a joke.
yeah, I know. She's like, "Okay, that's the end of that."
How often does this happen? A 2.3 0 to 60 quote there. Did the author pull that number out of his butt? Mercedes official release has that as usual on the conservative side, says 2.2 0 to 62 or 2 for 60. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying the numbers don't match what Mercedes put out. It's a coffin on wheels. Why do you say that? It's the best car from the West tech-wise. Design-wise, the front is good, and the rear, well, I try to be open-minded. Yeah, there's a lot of cars where I like the back and I don't like the front, so I can feel you there. Looks like a winner, but it would be pricey. The jury's out on ICE sounds until the media can... Well, I mean, their target customer grew up with vroom noises, so it makes sense. All right, so with that, I want to thank everybody for spending their early afternoon with me or late evening, so forth. And I want to thank our channel members, and you guys help keep the prices down on this all this equipment that we need to, not equipment, but the services that we need to do to keep this thing running. And I do appreciate that. And I didn't tell you the story. So have 3 of the 4 bifacial glass solar panels up to replace the foldy ones that are on the old system, and they were doing pretty well. They were keeping up all afternoon, and let's see how they did today with the storms. They were pulling in 100 and some odd watts this morning, and right now they're pulling in about 600 watts in a super overcast sky. So no complaints there. And there's still a whole nother panel waiting to go in, but I can't apply it yet because it would be too much for the old system to handle. So I've got the MPPT charge controller right here. The battery is on the rack. My finger's healed from getting the battery dropped on it, and I do need to rotate it so that it can't. So you can't have people running into the to the terminals. Probably should also 3D print some terminal covers. If it didn't come with any, but assume that none of my other equipment comes with anything. And it's slow going. It should probably have only taken 2 hours to do, but such is life. And so I'll give you guys the next step, and then maybe I'll make a video on it. Lee says, thank you, Kacey and Friends, in chat. It's a good way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Thank you. And Andrew says, take care and sleep well. You too, get some rest. And is it Remembrance Day for you guys over there in Europe, or is that one that's different for everybody? Robert?
Local. There's a local thing where they do it, but Remembrance Day is November the 11th. But they have got one for our Pacific people right here. They had it on Monday.
Oh, okay.
And they also done the other one the I think it was 22 hours ago they did another one. So yeah, they had them in the thing there, the marching. I thought I sent you it in the DMs. Was it DMs? No, Messenger maybe. I think it was Messenger. Yes.
I'll have to take a look. They've been messing with my notifications.
Wow.
That or the kids are just making noise when they all come in. I don't know, but they changed a lot. Like I went to visit Messenger on the web the other day, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not doing this anymore. Get ready." I'm like, what do you people want? Stop messing with it. You want to monetize our time, right? Well, don't make it harder to get into the system. And I don't know, maybe they're getting away from advertising or something. I don't know. But with that, I want to thank everybody again for your time today, and we'll catch you on the flip side and see you around.